Headlines for this week include the Computer Science Department Anniversary, Oktoberfest, and flu prevention. Stay tuned, WMCM's Week in Review is next.
Hello, and thanks for watching WMCM's Week in Review. I'm Rachel McGraham.
And I'm Jacqueline Snow. This Friday, the Computer Science Department celebrates their 50th year of education here at UWL. Join them with any questions in the Bluffs room at the Student Union. It will include accomplishments of past students, present students, and faculty. A meet and greet will be held from 1:30 p.m. until 3 p.m., where alumni have a chance to talk to students about their jobs in the professional work environment, directly followed by an alumni panel. Finish the night with a dinner program at 6 p.m., which will include presentations from the department and a guest speaker. Dinner is $25 per person. This is a perfect opportunity to present any questions about post-graduation jobs in the computer science field. Parking for the dinner event will be available starting at 4:30 p.m. in parking lot C12.
This past weekend, over 100,000 people came to downtown La Crosse to celebrate Oktoberfest. The Oktoberfest celebration began in Munich, Germany as a celebration of love over 200 years ago. Now, Oktoberfest is celebrated all around the world, including right here in La Crosse. The La Crosse Oktoberfest is the longest-running Oktoberfest in the Midwest. Some of the main attractions include the tapping of the Golden Keg, the Torchlight Parade, and the Maple Leaf Parade. This year, Ellie Mark was crowned the 2018 Miss Oktoberfest. Bailey Murphy, who is a UWL art student, painted a new mural at the Oktoberfest grounds. Her mural was the background for many festers' social media posts. Overall, this Oktoberfest was a great one, so let's begin the countdown for next year.
Interested in our solar system? If so, head over to our public planetarium program this Saturday. The featured program will be Autumn Sky Legends, a talk of our current sky, followed by a multimedia audio-visual presentation from 1 p.m. until 2:15 p.m. The planetarium is located in the basement of Cowley Hall in room 20. Tickets can be bought at the door and are $5 for adults and $3 for students and seniors. If planets aren't up your alley, you can head over to the planetarium every Friday for a laser and light show set to a current or classical rock album. This month, for just $5, you can check out Paul McCartney's current album, Egypt Station. Parking is located in the football stadium lot. If you have any questions, visit uwlax.edu/planetarium. A new hourly parking system has been approved for the streets surrounding the UWL and Western Tech campuses. We sent out a WMCM crew to find out more information.
Isn't it back? Now, here's Nate.
But here's Nate Wiggumhout to talk about flu prevention techniques.
Thanks, Jacqueline. This is the second anniversary of myself starting the year with LiveShot and the second anniversary of myself having the flu while doing it. Rachel, Jacqueline, sorry about that. Every year it feels as if the flu season starts just a little bit earlier than the last. So, if you want to avoid ending up like me, here are some helpful tips for you to avoid the flu this season. First of all, wash your hands. This can be the easiest way to avoid getting sick, especially when flu viruses cover every surface in the classroom. Next, go make sure and get your flu shot. The Student Health Center offers the flu vaccine, and they have a flu vaccine clinic coming up on October 18th from 3 until 5 p.m. in the lobby of the rec center. Now, say you've ended up like me already with the flu, here is what you can do. Continue to wash your hands constantly, or if you can't do that, use plenty of hand sanitizer. Make sure that you drink lots of fluids and eat lots of healthy food. Remember, vitamin C is your best friend. It's also your responsibility to avoid spreading the flu to other people, which can be difficult on a college campus. Open doors with your shirt sleeve and cough and sneeze into your sleeve or elbow. When you feel yourself starting to get better, make sure you clean your dorm or workspace with a disinfectant spray or wipe to kill any viruses that may be left over. If you feel your flu is getting worse, feel free to head over to the health clinic to get checked out. Walk-ins for the flu are welcome. I hope that you don't end up like me this semester, but if you do, I hope you remember some of this helpful flu advice. Now, back to you.
In October of 1998 in Laramie, Wyoming, a 21-year-old Matthew Shepard was tied to a fence, tortured, and left alone to die. Matthew Shepard's life was taken from him too soon due to a gay hate crime. After Shepard's death, the Tectonic Theater Project traveled to Laramie to interview over 200 people about Shepard. Through the information from these interviews, the theatrical performance called The Laramie Project was born. The UWL Theater Department will be opening this theatrical collage on Friday, October 12th, which is the 20th anniversary of Matthew Shepard's death. Tickets for the Laramie Project are on sale now and can be purchased online or at the UWL box office. Visit uwlax.edu/theater-arts for more information about the show, including performance dates and tickets. La Crescent Animal Rescue has many pets in need of loving homes. Here's some of the animals available in this week's edition of Perfect Pets.
Once again, the number for La Crescent Animal Rescue is 507-895-2066. We're going to go over to Perfect Pets to check it out.
For that free pet, know that the vetting bills could cost you more than $400. That's a lot of money for a so-called free pet. At La Crescent Animal Rescue, we have wonderful cats and dogs that are spayed, neutered, and current on all their vaccinations. And with an easy application process and low adoption fees, you and your new pet will go home happy and healthy. Not looking to adopt but still want to help? You can foster a pet, volunteer with us, or donate. Visit lacrescentanimalrescue.com for more info on fostering pets, volunteer opportunities, and to view our donation wish list. Help create a safer, more enjoyable world for pets with La Crescent Animal Rescue.
Once again, the number for La Crescent Animal Rescue is 507-895-2066. Native American hip-hop artist Christian Parrish, otherwise known as Superman, will be coming to our campus this Sunday, October 8th. The event will be held in the Bluffs Room in the Student Union from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Watch and listen to Superman as he blends hip-hop with his native culture, all while wearing his traditional dance outfit. Superman grew up in Crow Agency, Montana, and chooses to rap about meaningful and inspirational topics that he believes others can relate to. He has been nominated for and received multiple awards, such as the MTV Video Music Award for Best Video with a Social Message and the Toonie Award. Make sure you stop by the Student Union on October 8th to hear his message. On Monday, October 1st, the new addition to the rec opened to the public. We sent a WMCM crew to check it out.
So the Rec 2.0 edition is comprised of two locations. Upstairs is our MAC, which is multi-use activity courts, and our lower level is the fitness center, which pretty much triples the pre-existing strength center. Also, our rack space. So, locations for members to be able to squat and do all their barbell work. And we have now over 55 different pieces of cardio equipment. The overall space allows for roughly 130 members to access any piece at any given time.
Nick's really been working on making it a more inclusive environment for everybody, and I feel like that would be very beneficial in the new facility.
The new turf is going to be really important for, I think, just creating a different sense of fitness and a different sense of what you can do in a training facility, stuff that I think members and students really haven't had access to. I am most excited about today, which is grand opening, day one, seeing everybody's face and seeing how this facility is going to be used and watching people walk through and really just seeing the appreciation on their face, because this project is a long time coming and has been in the works for a long time. So not just myself, but our whole pro staff and student staff are just really excited to see the fruits of our labor pay off today.
For more information, stop by or visit ewlax.edu/recsports.
For WMCM, this has been Noelle Housen, Grant Bills, and Billy Ayers. Back to you.
Are you graduating in December or May and looking for a full-time job? Or maybe you're looking for an internship this upcoming spring or summer. UWL will be hosting the Fall Career Fair on Wednesday, October 10th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. The event will be held in the Bluffs Room in the Student Union. This is a great opportunity to connect with over 80 organizations and companies. Some of these participating organizations will be conducting on-campus interviews the next day. Students are encouraged to dress professionally and bring a Padfolio as well as copies of their resume to the fair. Students will also have the opportunity to take headshots for LinkedIn profiles. Visit uwlax.edu/career-services for more information about this event. Each week, the WMCM crew goes out and talks to your fellow peers in a segment we call Campus Insight. This week, they asked students what they did to celebrate Oktoberfest.
This week on Campus Insight, we asked students how they celebrate Oktoberfest. So how did you celebrate Oktoberfest this past weekend?
I had some friends from out of town come in. My roommates also had a few friends come, so we just kind of had a low-key weekend, staying at home and hanging out, celebrating.
As low-key as Oktoberfest gets?
I did homework and went to Bible study.
Very church-like. All right, so how'd you celebrate this weekend?
Got hammered with the boys.
What did you do this Oktoberfest weekend?
Well, woke up. I mean, first thing you do, you get in the shower, you get ready for a big weekend coming up. All the friends come down from out of the lacrosse from hometowns. It's awesome seeing them. Darties. Start off with Darties and then you hit downtown.
All right, so how'd you celebrate this Oktoberfest weekend?
I hung out with my friends primarily, didn't do any drinking compared to what some people would have done.
Look for the WMCM crew around campus for your chance to have your opinions heard on next week's Campus Insight. Well, the 1996 Coen Brothers film Fargo scored well with fans and critics alike. The Coen Brothers aim to pay homage to their Midwestern roots in this crime film that is both satirical and based on true events. The film boasts an array of famous actors and actresses. This story follows a used car salesman who is so desperate to get fast money that he enlists the help of two thugs to participate in his far-fetched scheme. After some unplanned events, the police are involved and get tasked with solving a shooting and a crime with some wacky circumstances. Nearly everything that can go wrong seems to go wrong for the criminals, and the audience is treated with many laughable moments along the way. Let's take a look at the original trailer.
I'm Jerry Lindegaard. You got the car? You bet. Brand new burnt umber Sierra. You want your own wife kidnapped. Her dad, he's real well off. So why don't you just ask him for the money? See, these are personal matters. Personal matters? Wait, it's Jerry. I don't know what to do. It's my wife. We gotta talk. It's something odd. Geez, it's terrible.
So I got the state looking for a Sierra with a tag starting DLR.
I'm not sure that I agree with you 100% on your police work there, Lou. I think that vehicle there probably had dealer plates.
Jeez.
DLR?
No, they said no cops.
Here's the second one. So we got a trooper pull someone over.
This a new car then, sir?
Oh, it certainly is, officer. Still got that smell.
There's a high-speed pursuit. We got a shooting. And then this execution type deal.
$1 million is a lot of damn money. They got my daughter.
Hiya, hon.
Brought you some lunch, Margie. What are those, night crawlers?
Oh, yeah, looks pretty good.
How's Jean? Who's Jean? My wife.
Well, the little guy, he was kind of funny looking.
You were having sex with a little fella then?
Yeah.
Mr. Lundegaard, mind if I sit down? Carrying quite a load here.
Where's Jerry? Got your damn money. Now where's my daughter?
Jeez.
Let us been shit. We don't want the entire 80,000.
I answered the darn... I'm cooperating here.
You have no call to get snippy with me. I'm just doing my job here.
What do you fellas got yourself mixed up in?
Police!
So, is there anything else you can tell me about him?
He wasn't circumcised.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't found a Coen Brothers movie so far that I haven't loved. The satirical nature of their comedy, along with the absurdity of the plot, makes for a great film. The characters that exist in this film are so unique and absurd, but at the same time, they're relatable for us Midwestern folks. Now stay tuned to WMCM. Ethan Jude will be back with this weekend's weather.
Are you a movie fanatic? Tune in on WMCM TV's Screening Room, Tuesdays at 2:45 or 4:30. You can watch on Channel 200 and Charter 989. See you on Tuesdays for Screening Room.
All right, welcome back to WMCM. Here's this week's weather. And it being the first show back, I'm happy to tell you that the weather is also back. So you don't have to worry anymore. We're here to tell you about everything, including tonight's rain that is going to happen definitely. Our meteorologists in the back are looking out the window and they see rain coming. They see it on the way. So that's what you have to look forward to tonight. It's not snow yet though, so we should be happy with that. And for tomorrow, it's gonna also be rain. So if you're walking to class, expect to walk in rain. And if you're walking home from class, there will also be rain with that. So Saturday, no rain, so you can go outside, maybe get scared by the October weather because get in the mood for Halloween, or maybe look at the leaves change. There's a lot to do on a cloudy Saturday. And then finally Sunday, back to rain. Our favorite thing we got going here in La Crosse right now is rain, but that's fall for you. Not usually, it's more of a spring thing, but also fall sometimes. So now we're going to go over to an interview with Tori.
Thanks, Ethan. I'm here today with my friend Jake Cadell. Thanks for coming out, Jake.
Oh, no problem, Tori.
All right. It's to my understanding that your job gives you the title of the Worm Guy.
Yeah, well, that's not entirely true. I call myself the Worm Guy. My job title is technically primary worm caretaker.
So Worm Guy.
So Worm Guy, yeah.
Right. Can you give us little details and like what that entails?
Yeah, absolutely. So being the Worm Guy, most of my job consists of driving around to local businesses and picking up their compost that they have. So basically anything that worms like. It's a lot of fruits and vegetables. Never any onions or garlic. That's too smelly for the worms. It's smelly for us. It's even more smelly for them. And then I take it back to our vermicomposter facility, which is located on Mayo Clinic's campus. We chop up all the food, and then we feed it to the worms. We put it right on top of these giant dumpsters that are just filled with worms and dirt, and the worms eat it all up, and they produce this awesome compost.
So what do you use the compost for?
Most of the compost goes to community gardens in the area, local farms, so it's a sustainable way for these farms to get produce. We do sell a little of it to make cost of running the facility since we're a nonprofit, but most of it ends up being donated.
All right, you mentioned that you go to a few local businesses. What are your typical stops on your worm route?
I guess there are a few local businesses. I pick up here at UWL from the Student Union. It's where we keep this guy, my worm mobile. It's got a whole bunch of compartments for buckets full of compost. From UWL, I go to Cool Beans, where I pick up coffee grounds. The worms love the caffeine, actually.
Fiends, little fiends, I tell you.
Yes, it makes them just super energized, and it makes them make even more compost.
It's incredible. What's the top speed you can hit in the Wormmobile?
I haven't actually gotten to take it out for a spin yet, but it's all electric. It's the perfect just vehicle for getting around because it's electric, it's sustainable. I also pick up from Western Technical College and from Mayo Clinic. Chop it up for all the worms and stuff. They take up about 400 pounds of compost a week.
Jeez, little pigs.
Yeah.
Little pigs. So This might be an unconventional question, but it really, I want to know. Do you form relationships with the worms?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I just took a short little hiatus from work, and I went in and saw my boss today. And she said, "Oh, I'm so glad you're back, and so are the worms. They missed you." And it was just, honestly, one of the nicest things I've ever heard.
So pet worm could work.
Pet worms. If you want to have a worm colony of your own, it's super simple. Or to start composting by yourself, it's super simple.
I'm more interested in the worm colony. Can you, like, step by step, how do I get my own worm colony in my room?
Ooh, in your room might be a little bit smelly, just kind of musty.
That's all right, it already is.
Well, then you can just take, like, a tote, like a plastic Rubbermaid tote, fill it with a bunch of good dirt, fill it with some worms, and then sprinkle some water on top, sprinkle your compost on top, and the worms will just eat it all up. You can just sprinkle it right up on top, just so long as it's chopped up into tiny little worm-sized pieces.
Very interesting. I think we should all have our own worm colonies because it's sustainable, smells great. Worms are, you can form relationships with them. If I were to get a worm, I think I would name it Pickles.
Yeah, I have a worm named Pickles.
No.
That's so funny that you say that.
This is crazy.
Yeah, he's in dumpster A, back at the right-hand side.
Do you have any other names for these worms? Any other interesting ones?
Yeah, there's Wormy, of course. That was the first one. Everyone has a pet worm named Wormy.
Oh, easy.
There's Wormy McGee. There's Wormy Magoo. There's Wormin. Wormin Senior. Wormin Senior. Yeah, my favorite worm, though, is probably Samuel L. Wormson. He's just kind of the king worm. He's in charge of all the other worms. He keeps them in line.
I think in addition to Pickles, I would have one named Thomas Wormerson, and I'd put a light bulb right next to him.
Oh. See, worms don't like the light, though. They live underground. They like the darkness, so...
Thomas Wormerson's different.
Thomas Wormerson might be kind of an outcast from the rest of the worms.
Someone's got to be. That's how you make great things happen. You just put a light bulb next to Thomas Wormerson. Could invent something that worms have never seen before. So to continue, what is your favorite type of compost? Like when you go pick up your food, what are you always excited to see?
The best thing to see is iceberg lettuce. It chops up the easiest. The worst thing to see is frozen husks of melon. Those are really hard to break up. Like the worms can take them in bigger chunks, but they're small, they're worms. They like to take worm bite sizes, not big people sizes.
Totally understand. You know, they probably have really small mouths. Do you think worms have faces? Well, obviously they do, but if you could have an ideal worm face, what would you put on it?
I think that the worm face that I would just have on is a happy, smiley worm face, just because I want all my worms to always be happy.
Well, I hope you guys all have happy, smiley worm faces today. Stay tuned, Mason will be back with sports, but first, a new rule for parking on the street has been implemented. We sent out a WMCM crew to take a look.
Due to a new ruling, parking near campus will soon cost you money. The City of La Crosse will charge for on-street parking around both the Western Technical College campus and the UW-La Crosse campus, despite hearing objections from students who raised concerns about unintended consequences. The Board of Public Works unanimously approved a pilot program to require drivers to pay $1 an hour to park on select streets around both campuses. Under the policy, anyone who parks in the designated areas will be required to pay by phone, either using a mobile app called Passport Parking or calling 1-800-789-7593. Now, Student Body President Ben O'Connell says even though the city claims rewarding property taxpayers is a benefit to this new rule, the students are already paying those taxes.
The city keeps saying the phrase that nothing is free. Some of the property taxpayers who are paying it through their rent, a lot of them live on these streets.
If this new rule is upsetting to students, O'Connell says there is still hope, and be sure to make your voice heard.
So what students can do is they can contact their local Common Council members, and they can also contact the mayor. And on top of that, they can contact the City Parking Services office. And I think if you just call in there and voice your concerns, there'll at least be a productive dialogue.
The parking utility will order signs for the affected streets and plans to put them up in the next 3 to 4 weeks. For WMCM, this has been Cami Diaz, Ali Schatzman, and Hunter Baumgart.
The University of Wisconsin lacrosse football team fell 30-7 to UW Whitewater Saturday in their WIAC conference opener. The Eagles were ranked 23rd and the Warhawks 10th in Division III football. Ben Shramsky had the sole touchdown for the Eagles, a rushing touchdown from 6 yards out. Whitewater's quarterback connected for 3 touchdowns through the air on 253 passing yards, all in the second half. UWL returns to action on Saturday at UW Stout. The Eagles volleyball team was also in action Saturday afternoon when they fell 3-1 to UW Stout. This is the Eagles' first conference loss, and they now stand at 10-7 overall. After losing the first set 20-25, UWL bounced back for a 25-14 second set victory. However, they would not win another, losing the next 2 sets 25-19 and 25-17. Marissa Johnson had 11 kills, and Rihanna Pachman led the Eagles with 4 blocks. Next game will be on Friday at UW Whitewater. Each week here on Week in Review, we like to highlight an exceptional student athlete. This week, Mark Carson spoke with Audra Clements. Let's take a look. The University of Wisconsin lacrosse soccer team extended its winning streak to 6 with a 3-0 victory at Concordia University, Wisconsin on Sunday. The Eagles improved to 7-2-1 overall, while the Falcons dropped to 6-6 on the season. Concordia, Wisconsin had its 5-game winning streak snapped with the loss on Sunday. Alex Corning, Maya Schmidt, and Heather Barron all scored goals that led to the win, and the Eagles are receiving votes in this week's United States Coaches Top 25 poll. And that's all for this week's sports. So, you guys have any big plans coming up this weekend at all?
I have a wedding I'm attending,
What?
so I'm driving home after this. A 3.5-hour drive, and so that'll be fun.
That's
Fall wedding.
exciting.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Actually, tomorrow night I'm gonna go see NF in Milwaukee for his concert.
What's that?
NF, he's the rapper.
Oh.
Why? Oh, yeah. Maybe you guys don't know them. All right.
Well, fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm going home this weekend.
Okay.
Very excited.
That's cool.
Well, thanks for watching WMCM's Week in Review. Make sure to join us next week, Thursday at 4:30 right here on Campus Channel 200 and Digital Cable 989.